It's the fourth time we participate to a Daytona race. We began in 2012. I never heard about HSR. And a friend called me, hey, in 1 month there is a race at Daytona. You can race your Vipers. I said, what? I have nowhere to race my Vipers in Europe. You have to wait 30 years to be considered as a vintage car. And I called HSR guy, how does it work? I called my friend Oliver, which I sold him one of my Vipers. I said, hey, why don't we go racing? Let's do one. And if we like it, we'll be back next year. And this is just what we did. That's the story. Just a phone call. 4 years later, we have 5 cars, 6 drivers. The challenge was different this year. We were quite ambitious, 5 cars.
This is, I would say, a year of work in the workshop, coming here for a week and then put all the pressure up and down very quickly, you know.
We're driving the Lola T70, the Sunoco evocation car, a Matra 630, which is a very rare car, interim car, a Viper GT1, and Celine. I mean, I'd driven the Viper here before. The Celine is a very efficient, very modern car, but the car that two cars I was excited to drive here, the Matra, because I think it's one of the first Matras ever to race in Daytona, and then the Lola, just because the colors are the ones that actually won here with Penske, I mean, with Donahue, so that's pretty cool story.
The stress was different, I would say. This year was something very special for us because we had some cars in development, which was the Matra, which was the first race for the car. So we took the car from a museum and then just tried to make it race.
And you have to keep in mind that Daytona is a stress to the car which you cannot simulate anywhere else.
So it was a big challenge for us in a short time. So it was a real pleasure to see the car coming down of the banking, and in the infield it was something very special for us.
Let's say that the Matra is just nothing like a modern car. It's extremely powerful, 500 horsepower, 820 kilos, narrow tires, very flexible chassis, and you have to be very cautious. But when you have found the way the car drives, which is light years from driving a modern car, you find the speed. And I took a lot of pleasure driving the Matra. We had a problem with the gas in the fuel tank going out of the car. And then the fuel went through the vent, and the fuel was coming from the dashboard. And under the dashboard there is all the electrical wiring. I got 3 or 4 liters of fuel on my shoes and race suit, so I decided it was time to switch off.
We have to perform, and then the god of mechanics said, oh, maybe not.
It was the first race with the Lola also, so the drivers had to get familiar with the Lola. We were very keen on having someone here to learn us the car, and it was very helpful with what happened to the Lola, which was not a quiet weekend for her.
I did fastest lap of qualifying, and on the last lap I was actually passing a car on the fast left-hander in the infield, slower car. I was on the right lane, I mean, they didn't see me, tried to get on the lane too, no space for 2 cars. hit me on the side. I went off to the grass, started spinning, hit me again when I cut back into onto the straight. And I mean, I think it was a Porsche. I think the car is pretty much written off. And in our case, it broke the front bodywork, the front wishbone, upright, wheel. I mean, the car was pretty much off.
Funny story about the car is if you look at the car now, and when it raced in the late 60s, they crashed at the same place with the same tape. So we have done a piece of history again with the car, which is really funny for us.
So the problem is we were not expecting to hit anything with the car, so we brought spare parts, but mostly mechanical, nothing really chassis-wise. So we didn't have uprights, we didn't have anything here. And then it turned out that Johan, who's a lovely guy and big Lola fan, I think he's got 11 of them, he just said, listen, I've got my car here, just take it apart and take whatever you need. And he wasn't running because he had an issue with the gearbox. And so our guys went over, dismantled the front of his car, took the parts off, put it in our car, and then, got the help of some friends to re-fiberglass the body, which looked a bit, a new aerodynamic concept at the front.
It looked great.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. I think it looks like a proper race car, It's almost like going to a museum and watching somebody repaint one of the big paintings that and so we kept saying, isn't that really odd? I mean, we bring this car here, and then we're living the same thing that they lived back then, when they won. No, it was very cool. It was very, very cool.
The Saline is amazing, absolutely amazing. More than 700 horsepower, a lot of downforce, carbon brakes, so it looks like you brake after the curve. The most amazing thing about the Saline is that when you drive it, absolutely the opposite from what it looks like. It looks like a big beast, a noisy beast, a big car, difficult to drive. It is not. It is a so easy car to drive, so very rewarding, and immediately after a couple of laps at the wheel, you find the speed, and the car says, "Hey, come on, let's do more." It's so easy to drive. It's absolutely amazing. The Saline was really not our fault. I brought the engine back to the original engine builder, and they rebuilt the engine to its original specifications. And they did wrong with tightening up the bolt of the driving pulley for all the accessories. And the pulley went off, and as it is so tight in the engine compartment of the Saline, it went to the firewall. So we could not have a tool going between the firewall and the bolt. And we asked to some friends to borrow a truck where we could have the Saline on the top, and then we could work underneath. But it didn't work. Impossible. We cut it, everything. We checked it. No, not possible. And some mechanics were focusing on. A lot of people told us before leaving that it was impossible, nothing will work, we were running to a disaster, and definitely not. And the best thing is that everyone was pushing in the same direction. We are all passionate people doing their best, okay? And you cannot blame anyone when he's doing his best.
So we are all there because of this. You cannot do anything alone. Yeah, you have to be a full team. Everybody has his own responsibility, and you need everybody. We had from the drivers to the mechanics to the people who are just cleaning the car. If one is missing, then the emotion is really different. So it's really a human spirit, something which makes everybody really close.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. I mean, we had the work done on the Lola. A couple of issues with the Matra, all solved. Change of gearbox on one of the Vipers, change of gearbox on the other Viper. But they've been flat out, ever since they got here. And they did a fantastic job.
All the people that we have are really looking at this as a passion, so they can work like we are doing. We have not slept since now, I don't know, 30 hours or something, but we are so happy to be here that we just enjoy and don't see the pain. And this is the common point of the whole team, again.
This is what we said at the end of the last race. All the drivers on their 2 feet. All the cars on their 4 wheels. Smile on the faces. That's it.